Do your builds look like this? And you looked up tutorials on YouTube, but your builds still look trash? Well, I've got 20 simple build hacks that can make your builds look amazing. Okay, so the first tip is to use campfires for bridges. Campfires, you might wonder, oh, they're just used to cook food or just as a useless block. But you can use campfires in multiple ways, and one of them being for bridges. And I think this looks really cool. Just adds, I know, different texture. Looks like logs going like to the side, sorta. I think it'll look better with spruce, so this isn't the greatest example, but try it out yourself, experiment, find what you like, because building in Minecraft is subjective. Okay, so the second one is to use chiseled bookshelves for walls. Now you can again experiment yourself how you want to use it, but you can use it as a whole wall or just as like variations in a wall, or like to separate two different textures. But this is just an example. It looks like cool. Like obviously the build itself is pretty trash, but the actual block itself, it has depth to it. It looks different texture to other blocks. It's unique. Okay, so hack number 3 is to use lecterns for roofs, and they can make this very cool checkered design using the oak planks texture. And pretty much what you do is you place like this, and it goes that way. You place it like that, it goes in a different direction. So pretty cool, and it's just a small feature, but sadly you can't use it for laws. Okay, so for the fourth tip, it's this sort of window design using trapdoors, signs, and stairs. So you place the stair, upside down, facing the other way, facing outwards, and then you put the trapdoors surrounding the window, and then sign on all exposed sides of the stairs, and it gives this cool compact window design that should look pretty cool in most builds, and definitely better than displaying last wall with nothing. Okay, so number 5 is a bit similar, except it's a more larger design, takes up wall space, and looks just bigger than that compact design. And like this one, it's probably better on a higher level, so second level or above. Pretty much what you do, instead of place underneath the glass, you place the stairs either side of the glass facing outwards like this, and then you place 2 fences above that depending on how tall the glass is, then stairs going facing in towards the glass window, and then a slab the top level of the stairs, and then another slab on top of that to have the illusion of a full block. The only problem is that bit, but overall this looks pretty cool, and again makes any flat wall look interesting and can improve your build pretty easily. Okay, so this one is pretty similar as well. The only difference between this is you put 3 blocks in a row, cover them with trapdoors on all sides, and then on the 2 outer ones you put the fence posts as high as the glass is, and then the roof is exactly the same as that. And again, adds depth and looks pretty cool. Okay, an example of these on a build. These 2 are examples of the first one, the more compact one. This one is pretty much the last one. Okay, so here's another tip. If you put a cauldron and then 2 leaves on top of the cauldron of any type, and then waterlog those 2 leaves, you get this very cool sort of garden thing. I quite like it. Now, if you don't like the water, you can obviously take away the water. I like the water. It's my unique sort of thing that I created, and you can, as you can see, you can use any leaf you want. I personally like this one with the flowering azalea leaves, the jungle leaves, and the oak leaves. They, in my opinion, look the best. And okay, so hack number 8. This time I'm in the inside of the build, this house, and I'm talk about the floor this time. And if you get any type of log, stripped or unstripped, and you can rotate it in such a way that it makes another checkered pattern. Yeah, it just looks pretty cool. Another quick bonus tip. get scaffolding and put a flower pot on top. That looks pretty cool as well. Okay, so hack number 9. You can use barrels as walls, and they're pretty similar to spruce, except they've got this little border. Now, you can use it as the wall itself, or if I show you over here, you can see I added barrels in to like this plain spruce wall, and it just makes it look really cool and detailed. Just adds variation. Okay, so number 10 is if you use the underside of a loom, it adds this sort of cartoony vent looking thing. Or you can do the same thing and place them in different orientations, and you get another cool checkered design. The only problem is it's not many colors, so it will probably look good in like a cartoony sort of build. But yeah, I think this or this could look cool as a vent. Okay, so sticking with the loom, if you use the backside or even the side of the loom, it has this really cool reddish sort of velvety texture that people used to use as an empty bookshelves. You still could if you know it fits, but it can also look really cool as a wall or as something to separate stuff with, stuff like that. Okay, so the 12th one is like this sort of little cool little shelf. Now, if you use spruce trapdoors and place them on the outside of a block, and then at the top of every block, you place the trapdoors sideways like this. Do it however many times you want. You get this nice sort of shelf that can look cool in any interior. Okay, so this one is a cool little bunk bed for any bedroom, or just to spice up your bed placement instead of just having it boringly placed against a wall or something. So pretty much on the, I think it's the outside of a block, yeah, the outside of a block, place 3 trapdoors. You place the bed here, 3 ladders on the first one, 2 trapdoors going this way, full block where the ladder is. Pretty much just copy this, pretty self-explanatory. Again, can look really cool in interiors and can just make your bed feel different now. Okay, so this one could look really cool on sort of a modern industrial sort of build. So pretty much you get any type of wool really. I would prefer black wool. You place it in a 2x2 square and then rails on each one of those blocks. Then it makes this, and it sort of looks like a vent or an air conditioner unit or just some random object you'll just find on an industrial building. Okay, so hack number 15 is a little birdhouse. So you get a slab, and then you on top of the slab you put any type of coral bush, and then you place an item frame after that. And you can even put something in the item frame, something green or like some seeds or something. I think it was green wool. You can have moss, you can have seeds, anything really. And then you obviously get a parrot inside, and then over the parrot you just put trapdoors, 2 on either side, 1 on top. And yeah, it's a nice little bird cage. Now, okay, so the 16th tip or hack or whatever you want to call it is using composters as roofs. Now, you could have a checker design. I don't think it'll look as good for this. And look how cool this pattern looks. It just, yeah, spice up any sort of roof. You can figure out, you can experiment in how to include this in your build. I have used it before in certain builds, and it makes it look really cool. You could possibly use it as like a vent, but I don't think it works as well as like the loom or other stuff similar. But yeah, another thing with the composter is you can use this as like the bottom of logs or underwater, and that looks really cool. Just a bonus tip. I'll use an example here. Yeah, just adds a bit of different. Looks like the tree is sort of growing in a pot, sort of, apart from it being in the same level. Anyway, just 2-in-1 tips with the composter. Okay, so the 17th one. So, have you ever found yourself just have this large, plain, boring, one-textured floor, and you put a carpet on top and it looks boring? Instead, try waterlogging slabs, and on top of the slabs, placing any type of small sort of coral bush. I chose the coral fan. You can choose any type and any color, and just as this bushy rug, you can do patterns, mix up like the colors, anything you want. It's up to you, and I'm sure it'll look amazing. Okay, this one, just a small one. Have you ever wanted to have pumpkins in your base for any reason, whether it's the carved pumpkin, jack-o'-lantern, or normal pumpkin, and you just think they look too boring? Well, try adding a sea pickle on top, and just looks like a large stem instead of the boring flat one, which doesn't even look like a stem. And yeah, just really cool. Just a small one that can make stuff look so much better. You can also have put sea pickles on trees, like in custom trees, which I've seen people do. So just, again, 2 tips in 1 to do with sea pickles. Okay, another one to do with campfires. Campfires aren't just something that can look really cool in bridges, and it's not just for cooking meat. It could also be for displaying meat, like this. You can put it like pretty much like shelves, or just like a bench top sort of thing, and then put meat on top. But remember to put the flame off, and the meat can be stored there for however long without going rotten. So yeah, can look really cool. Again, small little tip. I use it sometimes. And if you use it in a fridge somehow. I don't know how you'll do that, but you know, you're smart enough. You'll figure it out, you know. You're not dumb like some people. Okay, and the last tip, but definitely not the worst. My personal favorite. If you have a lever, flick it down, and then have chains connecting a block off the wall underneath the lever, and then put a lantern connecting to that chain. It looked like this, and it looks like the lever is holding up the chain, which I think it is. And just instead of having like a fence, this is in a different way. You don't have to include the item frame. Like, that's what without the item frame, you can decide what you like better. This is really cool. This works in any build. Any build, unlike other ones, which only certain builds will look good in. This one can look good in anything. Anything instead of having a boring torch, you can do this, and then looks cool. Okay, so that is 20 easy hacks to use in your builds that can make your builds go from boring to really cool, amazing builds. So if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It's been me, BJ Shaxx. Hope you've enjoyed. Goodbye.